you're hearing this, it means I survived long enough to tell it. It was just a stream, just a link, until I realised the person on screen was my sister. It started as a dare, me, 3 friends and too much whiskey on a Friday night. We were in my flat, lights off, YouTube autoplay bouncing us through iceberg videos and backroom conspiracies, and eventually a podcast episode called How to Access the Real Dark Web. Sam thought it was hilarious. Dan said it was fake. Me? I just wanted to prove I wasn't the boring one. I'd dabbled before, back when I was into cybersecurity. Tor browser, VPN chains, the usual. I didn't expect to find anything, but that night, we ended up on a forum called Parallax 7. No banners, no welcome message, just a list of live threads, and one stood out, Order ID 0017, stream in progress. The others had drifted off by then. Sam was passed out, Dan had crashed on the sofa. I stayed up, headphones on, just scrolling. The thread had no replies, just a plain link, and beneath it, do not share, do not engage, do not look away. Of course, I clicked. The screen went black for a second, then it flickered. The grainy live stream began to buffer. At first it looked staged, a room, dim, concrete, industrial, a single hanging bulb. In the centre, a metal chair, restraints, and someone was seated in it, face down. Their breathing was loud, panicked. A male voice, off screen, whispered, "Order 17 is active." A robotic chat scrolled up from the left. Anonymous usernames, symbols, numbers. Comments like, "Zoom in, cut her hair, let's see if she screams." I thought it was fake, another ARG. I hovered my mouth over the stream window, then the camera zoomed in and my stomach dropped. It was her, my sister, Ellie, blindfolded, duct tape over her mouth, hair wet, her wrist trembling against the restraints. She looked terrified. I ripped off my headphones, fumbled for my phone, tried to call her. No signal, not bad signal, just no signal. My entire phone app greyed out. Then my laptop screen flickered. A new message appeared at the top of the stream. Viewer detected, matching IP, verified. Then the feed froze and a countdown began. 10, 9:59. I closed the browser, yanked the Wi-Fi dongle, but the stream kept playing. I tried Task Manager, nothing worked. The countdown was still ticking down. I unplugged the laptop and hurled it across the room. Sam woke up, confused, Dan too. I told them everything, my voice crackling. We tried Ellie's number again, nothing. Then came the knock, not on the door, on the window. We were on the 3rd floor. I ran to it, there was no one there, just a flash drive, dangling from fishing wire. I pulled it in, plugged it into Sam's laptop. One file, Order ID 17, end. The file opened automatically. It was the room again, Ellie still restrained, a new timestamp in the corner, 10 minutes later. Then, her blindfold was removed and she looked straight at the camera, not like she was scared, like she saw me, and she whispered, "Why did you watch?" Then the screen went black for a full 5 seconds, and then my face, not hers, me, asleep that night in my own bed, zoomed in, frozen, and on the screen, Order ID 18, confirmed. We tried everything, police, cybercrime unit, Ellie's friends. She hadn't been missing, had posted on social media just that morning, but something felt wrong. Her text was short, dry. When I called her later, Her voice had a slight robotic pause, like it was stitched together. Then the stream reappeared. Different site, different ID, but the face on the stream, Dan, tied up, mouth open, and in the chat feed, viewer 18, welcome back. It never ends. Every few days, a new stream starts. Always someone I know, always someone I told about the site. I stopped sleeping, stopped talking to people. My camera light sometimes flickers on by itself. And last night, I saw something out of the corner of my screen. Order ID 19. Last chance. If you made it this far, maybe you're not like the others. Hit subscribe and I'll keep the stories coming. Inside the folder were hundreds of photos, most of strangers. One of me, asleep in bed, and I live alone. I wasn't trying to get in trouble. I wasn't some teenage edgelord trying to find red rooms or buy drugs. I was a grad student. My thesis was on digital ghost towns, abandoned forums, forgotten servers, and dead links that still pulse just beneath the surface of the internet. It started as a way to get noticed. I wanted to impress my professor, show I wasn't afraid to explore the darker corners of web culture. And when I say dark web, I don't mean the Hollywood nonsense. No assassins for hire, no live feed murders. Most of it is junk, expired forums, malware traps, Bitcoin scams wrapped in edgy fonts. But one night, I found something that felt different. It wasn't illegal, it wasn't even encrypted. It was just a single post, a link, and the words, Blue Protocol, do not unzip unless alone. It was posted on a board with maybe 5 users still active, probably run by bots. But the file was real, just 3 megabytes. I downloaded it to my sandbox virtual machine. I knew the rules. No personal info, no wipe or webcam access, and no network bridge to my main system. Everything about it screamed creepypasta. Fake name, ambiguous warning. Still, I was curious. The folder opened like any normal zip. Inside, a subfolder called Footage 1, another called Audio Recovered, and a single text file titled They Watch You Back. I opened the image folder first. Each file was a still photograph, high resolution, sharply framed, dated, numbered. They weren't screenshots, they were real photos, but they all had something in common. Each were taken from inside someone's home, from the floor, like a phone was left there, camera pointed up at ceilings, hallway corners, under beds. Some were mundane, kitchens, closets, living rooms. Others were not. Photo 118 showed a man asleep on a couch. Photo 204 showed a child's room, teddy bear propped in the corner, but the bear's face was blurred, not censored, just warped. Then I saw it, photo 311. It was my bedroom, angled low to the floor, facing my bed. Me, in it, asleep, blanket halfway off my shoulder. I stared at the timestamp, 2:46 AM, from the night before. My heart dropped. I grabbed my personal phone, checked the timestamp on my alarm from that night. Exact match. I yanked off my covers, searched under the bed, checked behind the curtains, the vents, every drawer. Every creak in the floor echoed like a scream. But I found nothing. No device, no intruder. Just the echo of my own breath hammering in my ears. I opened the text file. It contained a list. Not names, not IPs, just locations. Hundreds of them. Each with 2 columns, a set of GPS coordinates, and the word aligned or pending. The last line, my coordinates, aligned. I hadn't shared my location with anything. I clicked the audio recovered folder next. There were 13 MP3 files. I played the first. Static, shuffling, faint breathing. The second had a voice, distorted, slowed, like it was coming from underwater. A single phrase repeated 4 times. They don't look up, they never look up. You looked up, now we can't leave. Another file just contained crying. Another, a low humming version of the song I used to sing as a kid. I hadn't thought about that song in over 15 years. My hands were shaking. I checked the original post. It was gone. Thread deleted, site redirected, as if it had never existed. That night, I left every light on. I shoved a chair under the doorknob, kept the laptop in a Faraday pouch. I didn't sleep. At 3:12 AM, my hallway light flickered. No breeze, no draft. Then a soft tap on the window. Not the one by the door, the one above my bed. I didn't move. The tap came again. Then a faint scraping sound, like nails on wood. I counted backwards. 5, 4, 3, and then silence. I forced myself up, grabbed the kitchen knife, opened the window in one fast motion. Nothing, except a small, crumpled piece of paper taped to the outside glass. On it, typed in the same font from the folder's file names, Photo 312. Check again. I rebooted the sandbox machine, reloaded the folder. A new photo had been added. Photo 312. Same angle, same room, except I was gone from the bed, standing instead at the window, face pressed to the glass, smiling. Behind me, in the reflection, a figure, low, angular, mouth wide open. I checked my system logs. No internet activity, no syncs. The file had generated itself. I destroyed the hard drive, smashed the laptop, moved across the country a week later. Last night, a package arrived. No return address. Inside was a single printed photo. New house, new room, new bed. And it was me, asleep. If you made it this far, maybe you're not like the others. Hit subscribe and I'll keep the stories coming. The post just said, I'm trapped. I think they're coming back. Please tell me what to do. I replied, I shouldn't have. I wasn't supposed to be there. Not on the clear net, not on the forums, and definitely not on that thread. I used to moderate a cybercrime subreddit under a burner name. Mostly harmless, teenagers asking how to buy fake IDs, the occasional scare post. But then, someone sent me a link in a private message. No text, just a URL ending in help Fred 45. I shouldn't have clicked it, but I did. The page was basic, white text on black background, and one post. It said, I don't know how long I've been here, maybe 3 days. There's a metal door and no handle on my side. A small vent in the ceiling. It only opens when they leave food. I think I was drugged. I don't remember how I got here. I just want to go home. Please, can anybody read this? The reply was automated. This thread is being monitored. That's when I should have backed out. Instead, I created a burner identity and replied. I said something simple. Are you still there? Where are you located? Can you hear anything outside? The reply came within seconds. Too fast, like someone was waiting. I hear dripping, pipes, like a basement. I heard someone talking last night in another language. A man. Then something dragging on the floor. I don't know where I am. That wasn't the disturbing part. What got me was the video link they sent next. The link opened the video file. Low resolution, dim lighting, a single room, cement walls, a mattress, a young woman curled in the corner. She stared at the camera, then held up a whiteboard. User 43DR3A. Then, "Are you the one who answered me?" My heart sank. I'd assumed it was fake, another ARG, but this wasn't a game. She was real, and I'd just become part of it. An hour later, another reply appeared under my comment. "Thank you for assisting in our psychological compliance trial. You are now an external participant." A file auto-downloaded to my desktop. Name, Instruction 1 PDF. Inside, a satellite image, a grid, one square highlighted, and beneath it, "This is her location. You may save her, or do nothing. All outcomes are recorded." I tried running the image through reverse search. Nothing. Coordinates were scrambled. Another post appeared. "She has 12 hours. Send the message or she won't receive food again." I typed, "Hold on, I'm trying to get help." But as I clicked send, a pop-up blocked the screen. "Messages must be sent via voice. Please enable your microphone." I hesitated. Then, like a coward, I closed the browser. You see, that should have been the end of it. But 3 days later, a parcel arrived. No return address. Inside, a USB drive and a sticky note. She waited. I plugged it in. A single MP4 file. It showed the same room. The girl, thinner now, face bruised. She held a sheet of paper to the camera. My forum username was written in marker. Then, "You didn't help." She pointed at the ceiling, then curled in the corner. A metallic clang, and then the lights went out. For 20 minutes, the footage continued. Only sound. Chains, dragging, and a scream. I tried reporting it, but the moment I mentioned the video, I was locked out of my email. My Reddit burner got banned, then my primary Reddit, then my IP, then my Wi-Fi router crashed. I thought I was going mad, until the doorbell rang. A small envelope had been slid under the door. Inside, a black and white printed screenshot. The same room, only this time, I was in it, asleep on the mattress. I reinstalled Tor, went back to the site, desperate, begging to undo it. There was only one post on the forum now. Fred, external participate 2378, performance review. It listed timestamps of every action I took. 10:42, accessed, help Fred. 10:40, responded, are you still there? 10:58 PM, downloaded video. 11:09, closed browser. 3 days later, ignored parcel for 2 hours. 3:43 PM, plugged in USB. 4:01 PM, attempted contact with authorities. Then the final line. Compliance rating 24%, result, transference initiated. That was 6 weeks ago. Sometimes I see her reflection in my screen. Not mine, hers. Sometimes I wake up in strange positions, like I've been sleeping on concrete. And last night, I woke up and found a sticky note on my mirror. Welcome to the next phase. I check the forums constantly now, not to help, to see when my thread goes live. I think it already has.